Did Jim Rutherford just admit that he didn't want to make that trade again? I thought we wanted to move on from last season. In better news, though, Elias Pettersson is a superstar. But is he a leader? Well, let's find out here on Locked On Canucks.
The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your new Vancouver Canucks. Yes, the 2025-2026 year is officially here, right? The new season, the press conference that Rutherford, Allvin, and Adam Foote just had pretty much marks that. And we're here to talk about it here on Locked On Canucks. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us the space to give you that West Coast bias. Today's episode is also powered by FanDuel, man. FanDuel doing a lot for you. If you like to play the parlays, right? And boom, bam. If you join FanDuel, place a $5 bet, and that $5 bet wins, boom, bam, you get $300 in bonus bets. And as Greener is saying, okay, in the comments, get involved in the comments, okay? Greener saying, people, there was a pressure. And yes, there was. And, typical stuff, cliche stuff. The usual. That being said, some interesting notes coming from a should-be podcaster, Jim Rutherford. For real. And don't get me wrong, again, Patrik, Allvin, and Adam Foote, who was great during this press conference, gave me a lot of confidence. They were there too, and we're going to get to all that. But again, Jim Rutherford might be the greatest podcaster who's not a podcaster in the world of hockey. Okay? For real. So fascinating, so entertaining, so Jim Rutherford. First off, he opens up the press conference, right, as the president of the Vancouver Canucks. He opens up by saying, he's so excited to, shut the door on last year and just move on, right? Boom, bam. Let's shut the puck up about what happened, that disaster, that failure. That traumatizing hockey season from last year. Boom, bam. Okay? That being said, not too long after that, maybe 10 minutes after that, maybe 15 minutes after that, it was all a blur. He touched on the whole, the ordeal from last year, all the changes, right? Because he was asked about the new faces and the new leadership group and how now looking back at it, he was actually asked about how there wasn't a lot of changes, right, in the offseason. And Rutherford took a step back and kind of compared what was this team looking like last September to this September, okay? And there's so many changes, again. It's quite obvious. In some way, shape, or form, everything changes, okay? And Rutherford was there also saying that he made a trade, or they made a trade that they didn't want to make. Now, he said that before, like months and months and months ago when the Miller trade happened, but to hear him say it in September of 2025, it's a bit too much, okay? For real. Let me say that, okay? Let Mother Knucker say that in the comments. Let some other idiot podcaster say it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But Jim Rutherford, the president of hockey operations, I thought you wanted to shut the door down on last season. I don't know if we need to hear you say, again, that you made a trade that you didn't want to make. But Rutherford, again, entertaining. Rutherford also asked about the Quinn Hughes comment that, quote unquote, started up all this noise, right? The Hughes news, right? The three brothers want to play together. What he said, what was it, last April? Was, again, podcast-like stuff. And he was pretty much asked about the situation. Maybe the energy was given off. Hey, do you regret that? Do you regret opening your mouth about that? And what did Rutherford say? He said, he just said the obvious. He didn't say anything new. He said, come on, man. Come on, I didn't say anything. I didn't say shit. We all knew that, that was going to be the eventuality, that Luke, Jack, and Quinn are eventually going to play together. Now, keynote on the eventuality of that. Jim Rutherford, again, here's the positive. To me, saying the obvious, and I think a lot of us are getting closer and closer to realizing that, Quinn Hughes, a legacy player, a hockey nerd, a hockey phenom, a generational talent, one of those guys, he's going to want to see this through for a couple more years. And I'm not talking about the 2 years that he has remaining on his deal. I'm talking about, let's get to 30. Let's get to at least the age of 30. Maybe match a contract extension that lines up with Jack Hughes and when his current deal expires. Let me be a Canuck, maybe for the next 4 to 5 years. And let me join my brothers down the road when I'm a veteran, okay? It doesn't have to be ASAP. And the fact that Rutherford touched on that, that gives me, as Calder Kid PD is saying, positivity, okay? Because that's a good way to look at it. Because I've been saying this for a long time. As long as we have Quinn Hughes, the window is somewhat open. That's what happens when you have a generational player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with Quinn Hughes not signing an 8-year extension next July. Just sign a 3-year extension. So what? Give him $15 million a year, $16 million a year, whatever he wants. Just sign one more contract with the Canucks at the very least, and we'll figure out the rest when you're 30 years old or 29 or whatever the age is. Again, Quinn Hughes doesn't have to join his brothers ASAP. Again, Jim Rutherford saying more of the obvious, okay? Before we continue, though, let's get to some comments, okay? The season just started, not just for me. It also started for you and you and you and you. Calder Kid PD saying maybe he was talking about the Dakota trade. I wish he was. Dude, I want to get over this. But when the president of the Vancouver Canucks, I was about to compare him to the president of America. Like Donald and Jim Rutherford, bro. Those guys are entertaining people behind the mic, entertaining old people, okay? Saying the most. I want to get over it. But man, oh man, Rutherford saying he didn't want to make that trade. That is oh man, I don't know if I want the leader of the operation saying that at the start of the season press conference, okay? Like leave that comment for last April or like last March. Please. My aunt saying, I dare you not to talk about Miller this year. Dude, I dare Jim Rutherford not to talk about Miller this year. For real. Now, if we're going to talk about Miller, we got to talk about Pettersson, man. I know Pettersson wasn't at the press conference, but, he's a superstar. According to the brass. They still believe in him. That's the obvious. Also, Adam Foote saying, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but he's looking good. And during the skate test, they had one of those skate tests. I don't know if you can compare that to the beep test, I'm not an ice hockey player. I'm a ball hockey player. As you can tell. But boom, bam, Pettersson passing with flying colors, looking good, looking strong. And, they did allude to the fact that, again, paraphrasing just a bit, but when a player gains weight, there's a chance that it doesn't equate to them being a better skater. Now, this is not the case because, again, Pettersson passing with flying colors, which is good, which is great. And not to play revisionist history again, but, Rutherford did touch on the fact that Pettersson didn't put in the work last summer. He brought that up again. But this time around, this September, he's acting like a pro. He's acting like he's important, More Sidney Crosby-like. Trevor was at the press conference too. Didn't get one question in. Maybe he got the rookie treatment. I'm surprised that Trevor didn't ask Rutherford about acquiring Sidney Crosby to be your second-line center. Jokes aside, though, hey, I'm paraphrasing again just a bit. Pettersson moving more like an elite player, like a Sidney Crosby, right? Putting in that work. And it's equating to, some sort of success. And I'm curious to see, if he's amongst the best skaters tomorrow. And the brass, touched on that a little too, right? They want to see it right away. They don't want to see a grace period. And we talked about that maybe being the case, right? That the management group, the leadership group, the bosses of the Canucks, maybe they would expect Pettersson to have or need a bit of a grace period post tendonitis, post trauma, post whatever the puck happened last season, right? Maybe like he'll be where he wants to be or where the team needs him to be in November and December, right? I think I read an article from Thomas Drance kind of dancing around that topic, but no. They want to see it ASAP. They want to see it game one. They want to see this guy being the man. They want to see this guy being the superstar. And I want to see it tomorrow. I want Trevor Beggs when he drives up to Penticton, gets into the rink at 9 a.m. I want him to tell me that Pettersson's the first one on the ice. And that Pettersson's still on the ice at 11 p.m. Now, I want that type of leadership. That type of superstardom from Mr. 11.6. And more on that that leadership note, right? Adam Foote touching on the leadership group to some extent, touching on how they would confront problems. And Adam Foote openly, talking about leaning on Quinn Hughes and Tyler Myers and Pettersson, but not Elias Pettersson, but Marcus Pettersson. Before, Adam Foote would have to handle a situation that needs, situated. Elias Pettersson not mentioned in that. Now, to me, again, off the jump, me being pessimistic, me being traumatized, me being hurt, me being a 32-and-a-half-year-old who's balding probably because he followed this team for so many years and we've been past the second round. Once since I started watching this team and 3 times in franchise history? Dude, that kind of hurt. I want to hear Pettersson, Elias, be part of that leadership group. But, I got to remember that, again, there's different ways to lead. And if he's not the vocal guy, if he's not the one finding solutions to situations that need solutions, verbally, not being the guy guys can lean on, hey, do all your leading on the ice, though. And that could be based on your production or B, having the best practice habits on the team. Right? Like, that's not much to ask for, right? Like, Canucks fans, not just the management group, Canucks fans need Elias Pettersson to once again, because he was this guy before. Prior to the start of the 2023 season, Elias Pettersson was the hardest working player on the ice. Right? The best two-way guy we've had forever. Right up there with Kessler. But then again, you tap into his offensive instincts and you're like, no, there's nobody as hardworking as Elias Pettersson. And I know stuff happens. It can slow you down. And if you're not, having that mojo, you're not having that bravado, you're not feeling yourself, hey, you're in a fight with one of your teammates, JT Miller, it could make coming to work depressing. And you could get lost in the sauce. And, before you know it, you're not the guy you once were. Or you once was. Either or. Sorry, didn't take English honors, didn't finish journalism school. What I'm trying to say is this: Elias Pettersson, you got to be the hardest worker again. And if you're not leading in the room when it comes to like managing situations, even though you're getting paid 11.6 and probably getting the A, and you're one of the longest tenured Canucks now, so be it. I'm gonna get over that. It is what it is. We lead in different ways, but man, oh man, Elias Pettersson, no excuses. You got to be the guy setting the tone on the ice. Practice habits, all this stuff, your summer workouts, what you do on the ice during the game, like you got to be that guy. No games off. You took 20 months off. 20 months off. Again, getting called out again during this press conference for not being where you should have been last September, not putting in the work. Dude, now you have put in the work, apparently, allegedly, assumingly, and, we need to see it on the ice tomorrow. And I think we will. I think we will. Honestly, I think, again, for 75% of this guy's career, Elias Pettersson, look at the film. This is why we all fell in love with him. It wasn't just because of the offense. It was literally become, he's one of the hardest working players in this organization and a complete treat to watch. And if he can bring that mojo back, that motor back, and set the tone for the rest of the guys, like, look, I'm the most skilled guy on this team, and I'm also the most hardest working. Again, didn't finish journalism school. Dude, that trickle down effect throughout the roster is going to be, something that will keep Quinn Hughes around for a long time. Anyways, we'll get more into your comments, talk more about the press conference. The start of the season is here. Maybe we'll touch base with Trevor Beggs. Who knows? I guarantee he's still at the rink working, doing his thing. My name's Kyle Bowen. Once again, hit the like button, share the episode, and let's shout out a sponsor here on Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Yes, FanDuel. Man, oh man, FanDuel is doing its thing, right? The NFL season is here. The Packers are 2-0. What I'm trying to say is this, okay? Make a parlay. Put some money on the Packers and all their prop bets during this game against the Cleveland Browns coming up on Sunday. And next thing you know, you just turn that $5 bet, right? If you're a new customer and you're doing all this, you turn that $5 bet into $300 in bonus bets if you do win that bet. And I can't guarantee it because I think I can get in trouble, but I'm pretty sure your parlay is going to win. Again, if you're picking most of the props involving the Packers destroying the Cleveland Browns. Okay? For real. Use FanDuel, make every game more exciting. Even the games where, you don't have a favorite team or whatnot. I tell my friends all the time, bro, just bet on the Packers. Okay? But put your money where your mouth is. Where am I going with this? Go Pack Go and go FanDuel Go, okay? It's quick, it's easy, and it adds a little bit more energy into your Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today. Visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. And place your first $5 bet. Boom, bam, you win that. You get $300 in bonus bets. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen, Trevor Beggs at the rink, being a reporter. And maybe he'll hop on later at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. to give his own thoughts on what we just saw. I got a couple things going on in the studio post 1 o'clock, so a little bit of a change to the schedule. On that note, we don't even know when we're going to be going live every day moving forward into October. We might have to switch it back up to 11 a.m. or maybe 10:30 a.m. Just a heads up, just because life is lifing, man. And again, Trevor's got a new job, and Trevor didn't get one question in on this press conference. Should I send a complaint to HR? I thought equality was a thing. I know he's a rookie, but man, oh man, come on, man. What should have Trevor asked during this press conference if he had a chance with the microphone, okay? If he didn't get the rookie treatment. Let us know in the comments. Should he have asked Jim Rutherford what his favorite flavor of Boost protein drink thingy, okay, that's not an old person joke. I'm just saying, I want to know, because how is he doing this? How is Jim Rutherford at the age of 76, 75, so articulate, so entertaining, so fascinating, so tapped in? It's a miracle, man. He must be doing something right. I know he's definitely drinking the right boost. Anyways, let's get to your comments. Nothing is Perfect is saying congratulations, Trevor. Go check out Nothing is Perfect. They do a lot of streaming involving your Vancouver Canucks. And again, Nothing is Perfect is saying congratulations. But Trevor didn't even ask a question, man. Trevor should have yelled it out. He didn't have to wait for the microphone. That would have made a statement, Trevor. Man, oh man. Next comment. Greener saying he should have asked what a kilo is. That's funny. Next comment. And my aunt is saying that the Canucks have the best goalie tandem. And I want to touch on this, okay? Because, again, Allvin, who had a really good press conference too. I like what I heard from him. Confident, articulate, boom, bam, straight to the point. And again, mentioning that he believes Demko and Lankinen are those guys. Yes, the best tandem when it comes to goaltending in the National Hockey League. And I think he's right. And I know we've seen some of the rankings from some other affiliates like Bleacher Report and NHL.com and all that jazz. And what do they have? They have the Canucks goaltending tandem somewhere between like 10 and 21 or 10 and 18, which is just stupid. It may be obvious because people are still questioning Thatcher Demko's health. But man, oh man, even if Thatcher Demko's 80%, we still have Kevin Lankinen. And I know Kevin Lankinen, I wouldn't say fell off a cliff in March, but he just wasn't the same goaltender. He was playing way too much, played the most hockey he's ever played in his career. And again, a lot of people are probably looking back at his performance at Madison Square Garden last year in a must-win game where he was the reason why we lost in a hard-fought effort, right? That's a game where Pettersson gets kicked out of the game due to an injury. The Canucks keep coming back, doing their thing. But there's Kevin Lankinen letting in bad goal after bad goal. And I think that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But, bro, we got to remember, Kevin Lankinen, prior to last year, via Kevin Woodley and the fancy stats, was projected to blow up, a.k.a. be amongst, some of the best goaltenders in hockey. And when he was healthy and fresh, he was an MVP candidate for your Vancouver Canucks. And I truly believe that he's going to find that form again with Demko by his side. Not Arthur Shilov's with Demko, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, Kevin Lankinen going to get 30 starts. Demko's going to get 50. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 40-40. I wouldn't be surprised if this organization goes long-term with Thatcher Demko and prioritizes health going towards April and May. Because that's the goalie you ride with there. But until then, you pick up the points, and you do so by riding one of the best goaltenders in hockey when he plays 30 games or 40 games, and that's Kevin Lankinen. Look at the numbers. And, do yourself a favor. Stop listening to this show and go to 100% Canucks and go listen to the interview Kevin Lankinen just had with John Shannon and Landon Ferraro, okay? That guy's ready to be elite, too. We all talk about the weight, the weight, the kilos, the pounds that Elias Pettersson gained. Apparently, Kevin Lankinen took the next step in his fitness as well. Kevin Lankinen also reading books, a ton of books, learning about the history of Canada. Embarking on this journey to be more Vancouver than ever. Kevin Lankinen meditating. Kevin Lankinen, in my opinion, we're about to see like a new peak. He's going to put himself on the goalie map, okay? He's going to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. And the years prior to that, where he had limited availability based on, him being a quote-unquote backup and not like a number one outside of that one season in Chicago, he's going to prove that he's amongst some of the best goalies in hockey. He's got a similar demeanor to Thatcher Demko, a similar demeanor to Quinn Hughes too. Something tells me that he's going to seize this opportunity. And he kind of knows and kind of loves the fact that he's maybe the fifth, the sixth, I'm going to say the fifth most important player on this team. Like, he's been waiting for this moment for a very long time. And he somewhat got it last year. And again, overworked, dealing with injuries, dealing with sicknesses. Again, wasn't the same goalie that he was in October, November, and for big parts of December. But man, oh man, with Demko by his side, like, the Canucks may be doing something super special here when it comes to regular season success. It's, to me, going to be very Swayman Olmark-like, especially behind Quinn Hughes, Philip Roenick, Marcus Pettersson, D. Petey, Tyler Myers, Valentino Martini-Mancini, and Derek Forbert. And yeah, I get it. Our forward group is a little mysterious, okay? A lot of us talking about not having a second-line center. A lot of us questioning Filipino. A lot of us kind of forgetting that we don't have Pius Suter again. Pius Suter was arguably a top 3 forward for us last year. Like, we don't even have him. And I get it. Those are genuine concerns, and you're allowed to be concerned about that. And until we see Pettersson set the tone and, you know, have some of his bravado rub off on that questionable forward group, we're all cool with being I don't know about that group. Not leaning on that as being the strength, but man, this D-core is going to be a top 5 D-core, and that goaltending tandem is going to be a number 1 goaltending tandem. And again, I don't know if that's going to equate to playoff success, but regular season success, if people stay healthy, it's going to be found. And I'm so confident in that. Like I could say this: like, if one of the top 4 defensemen go down for the Canucks, Quinn Hughes included, the fact that it's Thatcher Demko and Lankinen, we're going to do it once again, and that's fine. Regular season success. Kevin Lankinen, man, people sleeping on him just like, and maybe on the other end of the spectrum, just like people are doubting Thatcher Demko's health, which, I don't know. Is this crazy to say? Let me know in the comments. I trust Kevin Lankinen more so than I do Thatcher Demko's health. That's just the truth. I'm not going to doubt a guy that, again, did the most with a limited training camp last year and just a shitty situation. Like, he comes into the Vancouver Canucks organization, and then Miller and Pettersson are going at it like a bunch of divas. For real. We got Vincent Darnay playing defense for us. Like, bro, that was a tough situation to be. Archer Shilov's looking like a shell of himself. Like, dude, but there was Kevin Lankinen holding it down, being, as valuable as Quinn Hughes at some points last year for a long time. And yeah, once again, he reads books, man. You think I'm going to doubt a guy who reads books? Come on, I've been saying it, man. Read books. Look at this one by Jane Goodall, Through a Window, talking about chimpanzees. Also reading about Dr. Dre, who is, that guy's polarizing. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't be talking about Dr. Dre. Anyways, let's get to the other side, read some more comments, and conclude this episode of Locked On Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. Hit the like button, okay? Share the episode. It really helps us out a lot. If you're enjoying the episode on the podcast side, give us a 5-star review, because my girlfriend, she likes when people are nice to me. That's because she has a big heart. And because she's hot. Yep, I said that. Once again, you're listening to Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money, man. Monarch Money. It has your back, man. A personal accountant in your pocket, okay? And it can keep track of everything when it comes to your money, okay? Your properties, your investments, your 401s, your subscriptions. Boom, bam. Did I just say Monarch Money is like having a personal account in your pocket? I did, okay? It's a personal finance tool that brings your whole entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop if you don't have a phone. Or is that the other way around? On your phone if you don't have a laptop. Boom, bam, same thing, okay? Hey, you don't need a phone to use Monarch Money. That's what I tried to say, okay? You can link up all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, what is this? Get smart categorization on your spending. I think I need this, yo. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and Netflix Plus, okay? What's Netflix Plus? I don't know. I just signed up for it, okay? I need to download Monarch Money, okay? So don't let your financial opportunities, slip through the tracks. Again, manage your subscriptions, okay? Get Monarch Money and use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com in your browser to get what? Half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year of Monarch Money at monarchmoney.com. Just use code LOCKEDONNHL. Let's get back to the show. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. Again, Trevor Beggs being a full-time reporter. And yeah, man. You know what, Trevor? If you're listening to this, I hope you're not beating yourself up for not getting a question in on your first press conference of the season. Can everyone just hit the like button to support Trevor, or just again, give him a pat on the back on the Discord? Yeah, he's not picking up his phone calls. He's not picking up his text messages. I'm pretty sure he's going on a long walk at the seawall, contemplating his whole life. Okay. One love, Trevor Bags. We still respect you. Okay, it's all good. Come on, bro. It's all good. Steph Curry misses a shot every once in a while. Okay. Quinn Hughes doesn't. No, you're never going to be Quinn Hughes, Trevor. But that's okay. Okay. Next comment. This one comes from Mother Knucker saying that Chris Mason, I think he's a former Nashville goalie. I'm assuming he's still working with Nashville media as well. Said that Kevin Lankin is one of the most prepared tendies he has ever seen in Nashville. That's saying a lot, right? Pekka Rene, Thomas Vokoun, UC Saros, all there. And that Kevin Lankinen, and this is coming from Chris Mason, has starter pedigree. And we have seen that. And again, just go listen to that interview with 100% Canucks. Like, come on, man. He's the man. Like, he strikes confidence. Like, you know how sometimes I'm a piece of shit when it comes to how Elias Pettersson carries himself to the media. Like, he's so scared of the media that, like, it leads to like some level of trauma where he's unable to portray any sort of confidence to the fan base. Like, again, Elias, you're not talking to the media, you're talking to the fans. You look at Kevin Lankinen, a guy who signed a big deal, was bad down the stretch, and look how confident he is when he's talking about himself. You know what that does to somebody like me who cheers for this team? It lets me sleep easier. Like, let me believe you. When everyone is doubting you, let me believe you just based on how you conduct yourself in front of the press. For real. Kevin Lankinen, a firm believer in himself, and that's why I'm believing in everything Kevin Lankinen. Man, oh man. I saw a funny comment here from Dan Jardine. Where is it? Something about Elias Pettersson as well. Yeah, Begsy. Begsy could have asked if Pettersson smuggled 6 kilograms into his luggage. Damn. Is he lying about the 6 kgs? I don't think so. But I did I did talk to Trevor this morning, and I'm touching on what we just talked about with Kevin Lankinen. Like, how would you feel if Trevor asked Elias Pettersson? And this is what I love about Trevor having this gig. Okay, he's a man of the people. He's down to do the things that the people want to hear. Okay, or want happening. What if he asked Elias Pettersson this tomorrow? I think the players are available to the media tomorrow. Elias, do you have a message to the fans? Like, are you feeling anything that you want to say to them? Not to the media, not to the microphones, not to Sportsnet 650, not to this podcast or that podcast or that podcast or Farhan or Ian McIntyre. Do you have a message to the fans? I wonder what answer we get, because isn't that what we want? Right? Like, some sort of confidence coming from this guy. I think that will allow us to lay off of him just a bit. But Kyle, why can't you just lay off of him prior to getting that quote, dude? I'm a Canucks fan. I'm a Canucks fan. You're asking me to be a saint. I've been following this team forever, dude. We're not going to be like that. Like, 70% of us are not going to be like that. And if it's not 70 and it's 50, that's still a lot of us. The Canucks fans, man, we've been through a lot. Just a bit of saving grace and less emotional instability when conducting yourself as a player in front of the cameras is or could go a long way, and he's capable of doing it. I mean, Pettersson in front of the media years and years and years ago was a treat. Had that bravado, had that swagger, and I wonder, man, what his message would be to the fan base. Next comment. Man, oh man, nothing is perfect is saying, can I bring Kyle with me next time. Oh no, Trevor should have asked that to Allvin and Rutherford. Can I bring my Findu friend Kyle to the press conference? I don't want to hold Trevor back, man. I don't want to hold him back, man. It is what it is. And Trevor did ask me to come with him to Penticton tomorrow, but I'm gonna go hang out with the boys, the Don't Doze boys. Okay, they do a lot for the West Coast bias. They don't ask for a lot of favors, right? And they ask for some of my help over the next 2 days. I wish I could be there with the Canucks and Trevor Beggs and all that jazz, but I'm gonna stay put here on the West Coast and help the boys out. All that being said, Trevor's going to be doing a great job solo dolo. I know Trevor's going to be a star. He's going to do it for you and you and you and you. I'm excited for him. He's living the dream. I'm proud of him. One of the hardest working guys I know. And again, if you're in the Discord, can you tag Beggsy in a comment? Just be like, yo, Beggsy, don't beat yourself up. Again, normally he picks up his calls right away, but I think he might be like eating a poutine right now to calm his nerves, or again, walking on the seawall with his headphones in, some Fleetwood Mac, phone on Do Not Disturb, after not getting a question in during his first press conference. Trevor, man, we still love you, man. We still love you, okay? Mother Knucker saying, take care of your neighbor, and Supersonic saying, Trevor, are you doing all right, bud? Man. The people, man. The people. Look at Calder Kid Petey saying, Trevor, man, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, Trevor. You're unique, bro. Trevor, man, we support you here, man. Don't beat yourself up. Pick up your phone, man. Please. Anyways, my name's Kyle Bound. I got to go pick up one of my homies. Got to record another podcast. I'll tell you more about that on another episode. One love again to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us a space. Okay, we'll give you more information on what this all is in the near future. But yeah, this place is giving so much West Coast bias to the people of Vancouver. You know how expensive it is to live out your dreams here? Right? So again, one love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us a space. Truly are the superstars of the city, man. Right, straight up, 97 overall, right up there with Quinn Hughes. And again, that's the people at Don't Doze Art Collective. Again, my name's Kyle, and where's Trevor? Again, he's not here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show, share the show, tell a friend, boom, bam. Go Canucks, go. One love to Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.